normal people become terrified of criminals.
Shots were just fired. Police just came out and told us, and we're headed there right now.
They become terrified of their own government.
We got this from the New York Post. Rep. Tim Burchett accuses bully Kevin McCarthy of attacking him with, quote, clean shot to the kidneys in Capitol hallway. Yep, this one's hilarious. And as much as they're saying it's a claim and it's alleged, an NPR reporter was standing there recording and tweeted out she saw this happen, that McCarthy came up from behind him and shoved him. And she thought it was a joke. And then a chase ensued where he started yelling at McCarthy. And what Burchett said is that he elbowed him straight in the kidneys. So this Burchett voted against Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy it's a mental breakdown, dude. Mm-hmm. Matt Gaetz pointed out at our Miami event, this is so amazing, so glorious, that McCarthy gets $1 billion or whatever in this money, in money for the RNC and for his campaign and all this stuff. So he has control, but he owes people now. He's got to deliver as Speaker of the House. Now that he's removed, he cannot deliver on those promises, and those IOUs are now basically toilet paper. I can't imagine what it must be like to sell your soul out to what is effectively the mafia, and then only like a month later, be like, I am no longer in the position to pay you back. I don't think the dudes who gave you that money will take that for an answer. And so Kevin McCarthy's probably freaking out and sweating bullets and not too happy with the people who voted against him.
Yeah, but it's also, it's just so corrupt. I mean, this is exactly why we should have term limits, because you're exactly right. That is how DC works, but it shouldn't be. And it's just so toxic.
I don't like the idea of, lately I've thought about maybe evolving our House of Representatives into like the entire population so that we all have the opportunity to set up bills, write them. No, we still have the Senate. So, and the Republicans they'd still be there. And if the power goes out, we would send them all to the Capitol. So they'd still have their job. They would just be part of the population and like deciding bills and sending them to the Senate. Because it's too easy to bribe those 450 people.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be really hard to get things done. I guess
as opposed to the efficiency of DC now.
Right. But at least some stuff does happen. But maybe we just need
maybe that's exactly why we should do that, because it would be really hard to get stuff done. Maybe we want that.
It depends on what you want. Like if you want to impeach Mayorkas, and we're not doing that anyways, perhaps that system's the same, right? But if you want any funding for the border or anything that you do want pushed through Congress, then having a convoluted system might be hard. I don't know.
Okay, well, we've got a video from Kevin McCarthy who's responded, and Citizen Free Press says, Kevin McCarthy sounds like a man who was caught red-handed hitting Tim Burchett. I guess our shoulders hit. I did not run and hit the guy. I did not kidney punch him. Reporter immediately grills McCarthy over his claims. Here we go.
A reporter was interviewing Burchett or something. I guess our shoulders hit because Burchett runs up to me after. I didn't know what he was talking about. So the reporter's asking me. I did not run and hit the guy. I did not kidney punch him. I did not shoot anything like that.
You didn't shove him?
No. We're walking through. You were at HC5, right? You guys line up along the way there. It was Bruce Wester and I walking out. He must have been interviewing someone. I didn't know it was him or something. I guess our elbows hit as I walked by. I didn't punch anybody. I guess it happened because when I was walking back further, I don't say somebody was interviewing me or talking to me, and he comes running up like, why did you hit me or something like that? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even know something transpired.
But reporters or witnesses said it looked like there was plenty of room for you to walk and that you intentionally hit him.
Okay, not a place. Show me a reporter who saw that.
Claudia Grisales.
Ask Bruce Westerman. No, I did not go up. If I
Listen to that guilty voice,
somebody,
right?
What did I trying to do?
He's trying to like over-justify it. It's like a little kid.
Too much talking.
You hit him so hard in the kidneys.
Now.
That's what he said.
The bigger the story, the bigger the lie.
That's far.
Yeah, he would have been like, no, I didn't. He kept walking if he didn't.
I didn't try to hit him in the kidneys. I tried to hit him.
Wait, here, listen.
Twice while he was in Congress in the chamber.
When have I pushed him?
Kinzinger said he was in the back railing once and you elbowed him and pushed him.
You said
and then
Gates.
Kinzinger.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Kinzinger
Whoa, can you rewind that? He thought that they said Matt Gaetz. He's got Gates on the brain.
All right, let's play it.
You pushed him twice while he.
He said he was in pain that you hit him so hard in the kidneys.
Come on now.
That's what he said.
Okay, that's far from.
Congressman Kinzinger wrote that you pushed him twice while he was in Congress in the chamber.
When have I pushed him?
Kinzinger said he was in the back railing once and you elbowed him and pushed
You
him.
said
and then
Gates.
No, she didn't.
Kinzinger.
The girl behind him said Gates.
Okay.
Congressman Gates, though, is filing or submitting a complaint to the Ethics Committee over this issue. Do you have any Congressman Gates?
No, I think ethics is a good place for Gates to be.
Can I ask
So,
you about
Burchett said that
This
you're
dude's-
the kind of guy, this is his
He's
words,
having a
as
rough
kid
fall.
would throw a rock and then go hide under his mom's skirt. That was his exact words. What's your response?
This is Congress.
Is there bad blood between you and Burchett?
Yes.
None at all after he voted to oust you?
What would you just say about the issue of decorum in Congress? I mean, there was a House oversight hearing where a member was called a Smurf. You have over in the Senate.
When did that happen?
Today. An oversight.
Someone was called a
Yeah,
Smurf.
Senator
Homer
Moskowitz. You have Senator Mullen, who was like about to bite.
Oh, this is great.
Why do you think things are so tense? Sorry. Why do you think
Well,
things are
I
so
think
tense
I
right
think
now?
members have been.
Wow, yeah.
Should have been like, oh, you elbowed me in the kidney.
He's got Gates on the brain.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Burchett was at a DC Young Republicans event the night before and called Kevin McCarthy bitter. I mean, they know what's happening. This is all of their staffers probably talked about all day.
When she asked him if he had bad blood with that dude, he looked away and looked back at her and said, no. Like, that's a lie. When you look up to the left, that's an indication that you're lying.
But I guess to play devil's advocate, apparently there were reporters around when this happened. Why would he do it in front of a reporter?
Because he has no self-control?
Yeah, he's having a mental breakdown. Dude, before he was even voted in as speaker, he was moving into the speaker's office, and Matt Gaetz called him out for it. This dude was having a temper tantrum the whole time. I have to imagine that when Kevin McCarthy was facing that showdown in the first vote to put him in as speaker, he was probably scared as hell that he was not going to get it. And when he was like, I'm just going to move my stuff and I'm going to get it. It's going to happen. I'll do what I have to do to get it. And he finally got it. I bet the dude cried. I bet he went home and he was crying like, I'm finally speaker. And then sure enough, like, what is it, like a month or so later, like 2 months later, he's gone. He's got to act as cool and collected as he can. But clearly the dude is unwound. And he's walking down the hallway and this dude voted to oust him. It was 8 Republicans that did it. And he elbows him in the back. A reporter watched it happen. Dude is losing his mind.
Yeah, I can't imagine the stress that this kind of public, life brings to anyone. But it does seem a little weird that you would be like, there's that guy for the first time. I'll hit him. On the other hand, like, maybe that is a sign that, Congress is as unstable as it looks from the outside. I mean, at least Mark Wayne Mullins, formally challenged him to basically a duel, but with your hands, whereas this seems like a cheap shot.
Yeah, like a petty sucker punch type of thing.
Yeah, Mullins confronted the guy who called him out and said he wanted to fight. Stands up, and I love when he goes for his wedding ring. He's like, I'm going to take my ring off.
He left it on.
Right, because Bernie was like, sit down. You're a senator.
Think of your wife.
So funny.
This McCarthy guy's had me on edge the entire time, and I kind of kept my mouth shut in the first few months that he was speaker because I wanted the best for the House. But he sounded like Trudeau the whole time. His voice, and he talks like this, and he has the kind of voice, and now his voice is going up and down when he's trying. It's just so pandering. And where's the authority in this voice? He's such like I don't know. I don't want to do
Mine is just they go back to the question of decorum, right? And do we need decorum? This is a criticism that gets levied at Trump all the time, that he doesn't have decorum, that he doesn't act presidential. But maybe people don't want that. I mean, I think of the British Parliament, and I don't know that anyone challenged anyone to a fight on the floor of Parliament, but they yell. They're
similar in Australia too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I think you need about as much decorum as Bernie Sanders. Like, no, I didn't say that. Like that kind of decorum, like willing to kind of like take off his tie or get his tie undone if he's getting hot, but like not throw cups at people and stuff like that. Like he has a limit to the...
There was some senator, I can't remember who it was, who threw a snowball at someone during a debate on global... I'll find the name.
Was that recently?
It was a long time ago because I think I was writing about it. I think it might have been Tester from Alaska. I could be wrong on this. I'll check in a second. But they were having a debate on global warming, and so he went out, scooped up snow, and then like threw it across the chamber at him. Like there have been weird, funny moments, and I guess we weren't allowed to throw snowballs at my school because they could have pebbles in them and you could hurt someone.
Yeah, same with our school. But I mean, there's a difference between decorum and vitriol. And you could say like, okay, we're going downhill in terms of decorum because we should all be polite and things like that. But in terms of just, I mean, we have been accusing each other, congressmen have been accusing each other of things like racism and corruption for a long time. Like that's not new. So, I mean, either way, these people they're backstabbing each other. They're trying to ruin each other's careers. Is it a big deal that they might, I mean, now it might just be coming to the surface a little bit more. I don't think so. I mean, I think the lack of professionalism, lack of unity was already there. It's just a little bit more apparent now.
When the snowball was Jim Inhofe of Oklahoma, which is also where Mark Wayne Mullins is from. So maybe those Oklahoma boys.
Yeah, they're pretty metal.
On the Great Plains. Trump, when he said Rosie O'Donnell is a fat pig.
He didn't say that.
Well, how did he say it?
She said, Megyn Kelly asked about how you've insulted women, referring to some as, fat pigs or whatever. And he says, only Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, and then that means in the past he has called her a fat, or he's acknowledging that he did call her a fat pig in the past.
I don't think I don't think he was implying that he literally said the words fat pig, but that he was implying that he's insulted only Rosie O'Donnell or something like that.
I think
unless he meant literally the only person he's called a fat pig was her.
When it goes too far is when you're in public office and you're using your time publicly to insult people like with mean, like you dumb idiot, that thing, because then that just wastes time, wastes taxpayer money. I don't want that in my office.
I agree, but personally, I don't think calling someone like a fat cow is any worse than slandering someone as like a white supremacist or a racist or whatever. You know what I mean? Like one might be construed as like more street and fighting words, but personally, I would rather be called a fat cow than, like an anti-Semite that could actually ruin your career in this day and age. And congressmen have been calling people that for a long time.
And I got to tell you, Ian, the more time they spend insulting each other is less time they spend on giving our money away for BS government projects and war. So I would much prefer it. We talked about this yesterday with war, that I would take the entire war budget and just give it to some random guy, because some random American dude can spend it infinitely better than we waste on all these wars, like 20 years in Afghanistan. But I would rather every single member of Congress engaged in narcissistic mudslinging on the floor if it meant they weren't all in lockstep with funding war and foreign intervention.
That kind of backs up my suggestion that we disperse the House of Representatives. If they're that useless and you'd rather just see them insulting each other, they really have no place in this country. We the people can pass laws and bills into the Senate. We don't need these 450 stopgap bribery vulnerabilities anymore.
I disagree.
They can join us in our citizenry.
I think the answer is not to abolish Congress. It's to reform or amend. Like all these people need to get voted out. We need better rules. Clearly the system is busted.
Mike Gravel had the fourth branch of government he wanted to create called the National Initiative. He was a senator from Alaska. And then it would have created a fourth branch of government. That's the people. The people would represent local people to go and act as another form of like a representative of the people themselves instead of...
That feels like it just makes the government bigger.
Yeah, and they'd more bribery, vulnerabilities with these...
It's quite literally more members of Congress.
Either we do it ourselves and there's 330 million of us and you can't bribe us all.
No, we need to repeal the 17th Amendment and we need people to focus on their local politics more and stop acting like Kevin McCarthy can do anything for you. The dude does not represent any of us in any way, okay? He represents his district to the federal government. He does not represent you as a person. People think that our federal elected representatives are going to do anything for us at home. And that's what I've long complained about this. You see these congressional ads where they're like, I'm going to clean up this town. No, you're not. You're going to Congress. You're going to DC. You're going to go vote on war and other garbage. If you want to clean up your town, if you want to fix your crime, you got to vote for local reps. And so a lot of, and your governors and your state senators and things like that. You want to know why California's all messed up? It's because they vote for these people locally. It's not anything the federal government's doing.
Yeah, they can't read these 3,000 page bills. But if we crowdsource it and we let the entire U.S. population have at it, you better believe there's going to be at least 700 people that are going to go read those 3,000 pages.
They do. They do this.
Yeah, but then these are the people that we need, like, pushing the bills.
No, but this was once called... the issue is that members of Congress should have to read the bills before they vote on them. Mm-hmm. But they don't do it. We should make it... What was your idea? You make it a felony to vote on a bill that you have not read?
Yeah, you have to swear under oath that you've read the bill if you're going to vote on it.
Agreed.
I would support that.
Agreed.
I don't know what the argument against that would be.
They're corrupt and they want to sell out their positions to lobbyists.
Right. I mean, but the position that they could defend publicly for having that be
like
the
spin. I'm trying to think about it. Like, I mean, I think what they would say, and I don't believe this, but the counterpoint would probably be, it would be impossible for us to produce effective legislation that wasn't lengthy, and so actually you're making it impossible for us to get to they'd make like you're slowing us down argument, but maybe that's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah, and that's why we want to get rid of omnibus bills, like what Matt Gaetz is doing.
Yeah, like with spending bills, you used to actually have to have different ones, and that was a lot more efficient because you could actually know where the money was going. But they want the big bills so they can all slip their pork in there, and lobbyists can be like, haha, like a little nut for me here, little presents. And then I don't know if you guys follow Rand Paul's, like every year he exposes how much money is spent on useless things like giving birds cocaine and studying that or whatever it is. But no, it's crazy, and it's literally, I would say, criminal how much they steal from taxpayers on useless things.
He calls that the Festivus, his Festivus recount or something like that.
Festivus.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.